Ever since I was a boy, my favorite of the four Gospels has always been the Gospel of John. When I was confirmed, I took St. John, the beloved disciple, as my confirmation saint because I loved the stories about John and I loved the way John told the life of Christ. I loved the way he brought us into the mystery of Jesus Christ and of his life, his passion, and his death in the fourth Gospel. So this Bible study is really a study of the fourth Gospel. It's a study of the Gospel of John, but it's got a particular focus. What we do in this Bible study is look at who wrote the Gospel of John, when it was written, why it was written, and all those basic questions. But we do so in order to get an insight into John's focus on the mystery of the Eucharist. In some ways, more than any other Gospel, the Gospel of John is really the Gospel of the Eucharist. He tells us about, for example, Jesus' miracle, the first miracle, the wedding at Cana, by which Christ reveals his identity as the bridegroom Messiah who's going to inaugurate a great wedding feast. He's also the gospel that gives us Jesus' longest teaching, his most detailed teaching on the mystery of the real presence, the famous bread of life discourse in John chapter 6. John's gospel takes us forward to the passion of Christ and looks at the passion as the fulfillment of the ancient Jewish Passover lamb, whose flesh had to be eaten with bread in the celebration of the great feast of Passover. And many, many other passages, many other verses in this gospel are focused on the Eucharist. So if you've ever studied the Eucharist, if you've ever studied the biblical roots of the Eucharist, you'll know that John chapter 6 is the place to go. It's the most famous chapter on the Eucharist in the entire Bible. And so what I tried to do in this Bible study is put John's teaching in context by walking through the Eucharistic teachings of the Gospel from chapter 1 all the way to the end. And when you'll do this, you'll see that this Gospel, above any other, is really focused on showing us what it means, what the implications are for Jesus' real presence, and shows us how Jesus isn't just the Messiah, he's not just the Son of God, he is the bread of life. He is the bread of life who has come down from heaven in order to give his life to the world. So if you've ever wanted an in-depth study of John 6 and of the Gospel of John as a whole, then this Bible study would probably be a great idea to add to your life.